Okay, let's then go to our guests at the moment. Naresh Gujral is joining me. Naresh Gujral, of course, is been a former MP of the Akali Dal, but importantly, he's also former chairman of the Commerce Committee of Parliament and an exporter himself. Ajay Saha is Director General and CEO of Federation of Indian Export Organization. Appreciate both of you joining us. I want to come to you, Mr. Gujral, first. What's your sense? Is this a tipping point for many of you who've over the years looked at America as a primary market? Is this a moment to diversify? Or how would you describe what's happened over the last 24 hours?
Rajdeep, diversification is a word very easy to use. It takes years and years to build a market. We started building, for the garment industry at least, from 75 onwards. Government of India was promoting exports. At that stage, exporters were getting up to 35 to 38% cash incentives, duty drawbacks, licenses. Only then slowly could we make a dent in the market, and it's taken almost 5 decades to break into the US market. Same is the case for other products. It doesn't happen overnight that you press a button and you say diversification. Of course, all the exporters have been trying to diversify. Europe is sick. There are very few orders coming in from there. Where do you diversify? Africa? China? It's not easy. The main thing is US is a huge market and we cannot afford to let go. And once you vacate that space, somebody else will come and fill the void, and it will be impossible to get market share back. So it's important that the government supports its exporters today and immediately, so that factories don't close down, doesn't lead to mass unemployment, which will mean social chaos, which will mean our GDP going down, which will mean rupee taking a tumble. It has so many repercussions, and the job losses are going to be in millions, I can tell you that, because most of these industries that your people were naming earlier are all labor intensive industries which give employment to unskilled or semi-skilled people. They can't find jobs anywhere. We saw their plight after COVID or earlier when demonetization took place. So this is a huge blow, and I hope, and I through your channel, I would like to impress upon the government, please act quickly. These people need support. We can't afford to have our factories closing down. At the same time, Rajdeep, I want to point out
let me take
buying
that
oil from Russia.
Let me take that to Dr. Sahai, because let me just take that for a moment to Ajay Sahai, because Ajay Sahai, here you're hearing Naresh Gujral saying lakhs of jobs, millions of jobs will be lost. Give us a ballpark figure, because there are those who believe is it as serious a crisis as Mr. Gujral is making it out to be, that if the US market imposes these tariffs, that destroys lots of Indian small businesses? How true is that?
Let us look into the big picture. Our export to the US last year was around $88 billion. In first 5 months, we have clocked around 20% plus growth to the US, and still 45% of my export to US will not be impacted of tariff. So we are talking about a scenario where for roughly half of the year plus we have already made the exports. The challenge is for the balance 6 months, and where 45% is not impacted. But at the same time, 55% is getting impacted, which will be in the range of $20 billion plus. But at the same time, it is not that exports will not take place. We have talked to a number of exporters who are supplying to the brands. Brands probably have the margin where they can absorb 50% tariff. It will be difficult for them to shift the supply chain, as they have very strict social compliance norms also. But when the issue comes to the finalization of order, let us say for summer season, for the apparel or for the footwear sector, there are the challenges. We are actively engaged with the government. We are also requesting the government that let us look into retaining the US market, because as Mr. Gujral says, once the market is lost, it's very difficult to recover the market. So that's the priority as of now for us. And I'm pretty sure that government will come forward to help the exporter in this scenario. We are also meeting the different authorities in this connection. So far, the response has been positive, and entirely agree with Mr. Gujral that we need solutions very quickly.
But Mr. Gujral, I keep also hearing talks today of Swadeshi 2.0. I heard an MP from the Aam Aadmi Party saying we must boycott American goods. I mean, rationality would demand to find solutions. Do you believe that the time has come? You were mentioning something about Russian oil when I interrupted you. Do you believe the time has come to relook at our priorities, reset our priorities now?
No, Radeep, one thing I'm very clear about, that no country, howsoever powerful it may be, they cannot dictate our foreign policy. So on that issue, I am totally with the government that we will not allow any country to dictate to us. At the same time, what I was trying to tell you was that while we've been buying oil from Russia, what I've been reading in the papers is that we have saved roughly $17 billion in the last 3 years. So we have the money. It's not that we haven't saved money. Now, this is the time to come to the aid of our exporters and make sure that not one factory closes down in any of the segments. Labor-intensive industries are very difficult to set up because that means training and retraining labor. It means retaining buyers, first to cultivate those buyers and then to retain those buyers is a very difficult task. And overnight, you cannot diversify. It takes sometimes 5 to 10 years to break into markets. And today the fact is, where can we break in? Most of the economies, as I said to you, in Europe, they're not doing well. Australia is not doing that well. Japan is a very small market. So you cannot lose the American market. And yes, while we have issues with America today, I'm sure it's only a matter of time. If we support our exporters, in good time, this issue of Ukraine, Russia will be solved.
Right.
And I hope then the punitive taxes that are being imposed on us, the tariffs being imposed on us, would be removed. And
okay,
Rajdeep,
let me leave
may
it there.
I also add here,
I wish we had more time.
that other countries,
we will, of course, get you. We will get you we will get other voices in the days ahead. But for now, I must leave it there. I appreciate Mr. Gujral, Mr. Sahai, for joining me here on the news today.